Yeah, that looks pretty cool. But today we're going to recap what it took for me to get there over the past year. Yeah, this is what it was like at my first event. This was the RX-8 with stock steering angle, coilovers, and a welded diff. As you can see, wasn't that good. But everybody starts somewhere, so I had to work from there. I was able to pull off this one good drift around the oval track at Evergreen Speedway. So from there, over the winter, I cut and shortened my knuckles to give myself more steering angle. And then after the cold winter was done, my first event I went to was RSD for the South Course, and this was my best run of the day. I was using a lot of e-brake to initiate, and somebody told me about that. So for my next event after this, I really focused on not using so much e-brake. So that brings us to the first event of the year at Evergreen Speedway. And as you can see, I really learned a lot about entry speed, and also I was able to link the straightaway with a Manji. I wasn't really good enough yet to continue to hold the whole drift out through the next turn, but it was a start. The one thing to take from this clip is that I learned to really let the wheel go, kind of let it self-steer, and not that I was sawing at the wheel so much. And this event here was the second event I did at Ready Set Drift. This was on their skid pad, however, which is just a big open parking lot. It was really a good chance to kind of get the car out and run a different line than what I'm used to at Evergreen. And just slowly progress, and that's kind of all I did all year long. So after that, I drove 7 hours to Lake Erie Speedway for a 2-day event. Had a great time there. And slid their track, which was banked, so I had a little bit of experience with that since I'm drifting at Evergreen all the time. However, you might notice in this video I'm clutch kicking a lot and having to use the e-brake to extend my drift. I didn't know it at the time, but that was because the RX-8 was on its way of blowing up a motor. But it was still enough power to slide around, so I kept going. Most of the footage from that weekend was ruined because I had the GoPro face too far down, so the whole track was getting whitewashed. Here's a funny clip of me going for the e-brake and John swapped my hand away, which I thought was pretty good. Also that weekend I got my first taste of trying to ride up to a wall. More on that soon. So back at Evergreen once again, and I was finally able to link the whole L track, as they call it, in one run. It was also at this event that I tried tandeming for my first time with my buddy Logan. One other thing to notice is I'm really comfortable on the oval now. Kind of link it together almost every time I was out, hardly ever spinning, which was mostly due to coming in with more entry speed and just getting more used to driving. This is also the event that I found out one of my favorite things to do at Evergreen is to try and run up on the wall. I also got my first taste of the wall this day. There was more to that to come. Then it was back to Club Loose for one of their Friday night drift parties. Another good event where I got to learn a lot, but I also started to notice the engine was getting a little bit more weak. Then it was back to Drift Evergreen once again for their 2-day event. I waited all summer for this event. I was super excited. This was on the first day. I was getting some tandems in with my buddy John. Things were going pretty good. Yikes. That was my first big hit into the wall there. But I spent all night fixing the car, and then the next day, the engine was really going bad, so I drifted around the pole until there was coolant spraying everywhere, and I sent the engine into the grave. Next, it was another 7-hour drive out to Erie, PA with the E36 that I just bought. But I found out I had a blown head gasket and blown clutch. Luckily, we went to AutoZone and bought some Blue Devil head gasket sealer, and it worked. Then in September, I showed back up to Evergreen with the BMW. Tried to take my buddy Ogre out on the oval. He's the one that's usually running grid on oval. He's a great guy. He's the one that mostly got me, pretty much pushed me to go and ride up on that wall. I can't thank him enough for that, because that is some of the best fun in drifting. Then I spent 3 days at RSD on the skid pad for the Stacked Motorsports Festival. I really got to work on tandems that whole weekend with 2 of these guys here. The guy in the BMW, his name's Fred, and it's Jason up in the 350Z. All weekend long we were going back and forth, leading and following, and it was a really good chance to learn a little bit more about tandeming. That brings us back to Evergreen, which marks 1 anniversary of me drifting, which I had to celebrate by riding up on that wall again. can't believe how much fun I had in just 1 year drifting. I wish I'd been doing it for a lot longer, but sadly I didn't get into it until I was about 28 years old. But this first year has been so much fun, there's no way I can stop now. It's definitely something I'm going to do for the rest of my life. It's such a big part of my life. I mean, look at how much fun this is. So with that, I can't wait to see what next year brings. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, kind of just recapping the past year of me drifting. And hopefully you'll stay tuned and subscribe for more drifting videos.